Hi, Cheryl Cran. This week I want to talk about innovation. Do you feel that your company is innovative? And if you answered yes, great. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being high, how would you rate your company's innovation? Do you feel your leader is innovative? And again, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being high, how would you rate your leader on being innovative? Now, how do you feel you are at innovation? Do you come up with creative solutions on a regular basis? And of course, we all do as a regular activity in our work. But I'm talking about solutions that relate to not just the problems of the job we have or the work we're focused on, but solutions related to people, to team, and helping teams be more effective and helping people work together more collaboratively and synergistically. One of the exercises I like to often do with my groups is to ask them to find things in common with two things that seem to be really, really opposite. So for example, an eagle in a drone or a cat in a refrigerator. When you first start that exercise, most of the time people sort of look at me like, what are you talking about? Those things have nothing in common. And then as they move forward, they realize actually there's a lot in common. And by doing that exercise, the point is to point out that we spend a lot of time in our days focusing on difference. You're different than me because you think this way, or I would have done it differently. And we have these divisive thoughts, if you will, and sometimes we're not even conscious of them, which are really focused on finding the differences or finding how unlike we are, which then creates that lack of synergistic, lack of team, lack of solution. Innovation happens when we have a mashup of diverse opinions, diverse perspectives, diverse experiences. That's where innovation erupts from. So we need to be the most open-minded, we need to be the most all-embracing people that we can be in order to really be innovative-minded. So when we talk about innovation, oftentimes it's talked about as a big global, aspect of we want to be an innovative organization. But an organization is a composite of the people within the organization. And yes, we could argue that AI and digital is really taking on some of this creative activity. You can plug into an AI system right now and one idea, and it'll give you an instant mind map of all the corollaries to that idea. So of course, in the future, technology is going to really stimulate and leverage that innovation. However, we as human beings are only as innovative as what we can implement and put into practice and execute. So when I look at innovation, I look at it as an opportunity for every individual to really shift and move the dial beyond thinking in the same way or thinking or focusing on differences, and to really shifting more towards what do we have in common? How can I work with accounting more effectively if I'm in marketing? If I'm in sales and I'm dealing with IT, how can we come up with innovative ideas as it relates to working together, as it relates to team? I remember years ago when I was in insurance, I had a teammate. Her name was Corinne, highly, strongly talented lady and very analytical, completely opposite to me. I'm much more the driver, socializer personality. In those days, I'm much more integrated now with all 4 personality quadrants. But I remember us struggling. She would say to me, that report you submitted is incomplete. You didn't do this, you didn't do that. And then I would get my back up because it's like, do you know how busy I am out there getting sales? And, that constant sort of coming at it from each other's perspective, but not willing to see where the other person was coming from. And finally, she had the evolutionary mindset to pull me aside. We went for coffee and she said, Cheryl, I find that we're not getting along, or we're not working together as good as we can. I have an idea. And she said, what if I was to make it easy for you and highlight the necessary parts of those forms that I need filled out? Because you don't need to fill it all out. You just need these necessary parts. Well, of course, she was speaking my language because I would get sort of overwhelmed by having to fill in every single part of that form. And I felt like it was an unnecessary, repetitive thing to do. And I said to her, yes, I'm willing to do that. And is there a way that we can also translate what I'm giving you into some sort of dashboard analytics or some sort of visual so that I know that what I'm filling out for you as data is going to come back to me in usable information that I can put into my sales practice? And she agreed. So together we were able to focus on the relationship, focus on what her mandates were and what mine were, and together come up with ways that we could work together even better. After we had that dialogue, we were like unstoppable because she was operations, I was sales. We worked together really dynamically, and we were able to innovate customer solutions quite rapidly because we now had respect for each other's roles and mandates, as well as willing to work with each other. Now that requires a mindset that says, I'm willing to be a teammate. It's a mindset that says, I'm willing to learn from this other person. And I think that's the key to innovation as we move forward. Are we willing to change enough to allow innovation to emerge from diverse opinions? That's the question of this week. I leave you with that, and I look forward to you next time.